Chapter 7 Mad Tea Party.
Alice approaches a large table set under the tree outside the March Hare's house and comes across the Mad Hatter and the March Hare taking tea. They rest their elbows on a sleeping Dormouse who sits between them. They tell Alice that there is no room for her at the table, but Alice sits anyway. The March Hare offers Alice wine, but there is none. Alice tells the March Hare that his conduct is uncivil, to which he rejoins that it was uncivil of her to sit down without being invited. The Mad Hatter enters the conversation, opining that Alice's hair wants cutting. Alice admonishes his rudeness, but he ignores her scolding and responds with a riddle. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Alice attempts to answer the riddle, which begins a big argument about semantics. After their argument, the tea party sits in silence until the Mad Hatter asks the March Hare the time. When he discovers that the March Hare's watch, which measures the day of the month, is broken, the Mad Hatter becomes angry. He blames the March Hare for getting crumbs on the watch when the March Hare was spreading butter on it. The March Hare suddenly dips the watch in his tea, dejectedly remarking that it was the best butter. Alice gives up on the riddle and becomes angry with the Mad Hatter when she discovers that he doesn't know the answer either. She tells him he should not waste time asking riddles that have no answer. The Mad Hatter calmly explains that time is a him, not an it. He goes on to recount how time has been upset ever since that the Queen of Hearts said the Mad Hatter was murdering time while he performed a song badly. Since then, time has stayed fixed at 6 o'clock, which means that they exist in perpetual tea time. Bored with this line of conversation, the March Hare states that he would like to hear a story, so they wake up the Dormouse. The Dormouse tells a story about 3 sisters who lives in the treacle well, eating and drawing a treacle. Confused by the story, Alice interjects with so many questions that the Dormouse becomes irritated. Alice continues to ask questions until the Mad Hatter insults her and she storms off in disgust. As she walks, she looks back at the Mad Hatter and the March Hare as they attempt to stuff the Dormouse into a teapot. In the wood, Alice encounters a tree with a door in it. She enters the door and finds herself back in the great hall. Alice goes back to the table with the key and uses the mushroom to grow to a size that she can reach the key, then to shrink back to the size that she can fit through the door. She goes through the door and at last arrives at the passageway to the garden.
Next to Chapter 8.